First at 4, Michigan state government is still running a schedule despite having no operational budget for a new fiscal year. Political reporter Rick Albin is with us to talk about how we got to this point and where we go from here. Rick, so explain how we got here with no new spending plan.
Right. I think the short answer and the easy answer is divided government. Republicans control the House, Democrats control the Senate. Their view of government is fundamentally different. And by the way, I don't get the sense that the two leaders particularly get along very well. Priorities are different, spending philosophy is different, funding mechanism ideas are different. We see that in the draft budget that was revealed last week, where the House had nearly $3.5 billion slated for roads, with spending cuts and shifts to what we believe now is the current plan that is about $2 billion and new revenue in the form of a tax on marijuana. That would account for, based on estimates, about $400 million to roads. But it also includes some new transparency for the legislature that would in part deal with earmarks, so both sides seem to have acquiesced a little bit. That's how budgets get done. But Amber, we haven't seen the budget yet, so we don't know everything that's in it. We probably won't see it until they get ready to act on it.
Yeah, how budgets get done, but there's no budget yet. When do you think that will happen, Rick?
Yeah, I really don't know. I can't say, but I can just kind of guess at some of what we know. The legislature passed a continuing resolution that keeps funding in place until October 8th. Not clear if the legislature will be in session tomorrow. Both of their official calendars have no session posted due to Yom Kippur. If that holds, it seems like Friday would be the next opportunity, but no session has been posted yet for Friday. It still could, though. The fact is they could meet over the weekend, too, and even on Monday, until they get it done. If I read the tea leaves correctly, there is an agreement. We wouldn't be here with an agreement to continue funding for a few days if both sides didn't think they could get something through both of the chambers and the governor would sign it. The governor wouldn't have issued not one but two releases yesterday saying that the state government would remain open. There would be no shutdown. I don't know exactly when, but I believe there is a deal. However, I always have to add this. There's never a deal until the deal is done. That means it's got to get through the House, the Senate, signed by the governor. But I still, at this point, think we're headed in that direction. My best guess is sometime between Friday and Monday.
Okay. There's obviously been a lot of disagreement, right? Anger, frustration at times. So what does this mean for the budget next year and years beyond that?
Well, it really comes down to just one more year, right? Because when we get past that, the configuration of players is going to change. Governor and Senate Majority Leader are term limited, and they will not return in 2027. And who controls the House after next year's election could change, too. So it really comes down to next year. As I pointed out, that's an election year. And what that means is that many members of the House and the Senate are going to be running for re-election, or they'll be running for another office. They're not going to have much of an appetite for being locked down in Lansing, particularly when it comes to fall sessions. So it's only a guess, that without some intervening event that would require some immediate action, the budget could be done by the statutory July 1st deadline. Lansing could be a pretty vacant place in the summer and even in the fall. That'll let members get back to their districts to campaign. But that's a long time from now, and things could change. We just hope that there's a more orderly process, because this year's budget process didn't go through all of the normal channels, and I think that made it a little more difficult, particularly when we got down to the end, and I hope that's where we are, down to the end.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Rick Albin, reporting for us. Thank you so much.